I think I'm gonna have to hold this. All right, Wildcats, start getting quiet. All right, thank you guys. Hey guys, it's been a while since we've been able to get together for Veterans Day Assembly. Some of you, it might be the first one that we've done as a Wildcat. So one of the first things we want to talk about is make sure that we're respectful and we're quiet. Okay, we've done some assemblies where we have pep assemblies, and so we get to have a little bit more energy and excitement and loud. And this is one that we truly are, one that we just want to respect those that are here that have served, those that aren't here that have served. So we just want to start by just welcoming everybody to the 2022 Veterans Day Assembly for Capps Middle School. Students, today, it's a day that we honor veterans and those who are serving now as well. So it's a solemn day. It's a day that we want to take time and respect and reflect. So again, during the presentation today, we have a speaker that will be introduced later. Make sure you're very respectful. The guests that are here, make sure you're respectful for them as well. We are thankful that they're here to join us today. So students, we shouldn't be on our phones. Make sure your phones are away. So make sure that's not a distraction as well or talking to those around you. So at this time, I want to welcome our Capps Choir for the National Anthem. If you'll please stand to your feet.
Served in World War I. It became a thing that presidents did, and so in 1926, Congress made every November 11th Veterans Day, and since then we have added veterans from many other wars, veterans who have served, maybe didn't fight in a war, to celebrate on Veterans Day. As a faculty, we did get together to make a slideshow in honor of people we know who are veterans and current military members in their lives. So I'd like to direct you to my right, your left, to the slideshow.
In liberating strife,
Please welcome our orchestra under the direction of Miss Stevens. They are performing Our Heroes by Monday.
Thank you, Ms. Stevens and the orchestra. Awesome job. Thank you so much. Well, I'm pleased to introduce our guest speaker today, and the reason is because I used to work with him. Today we have our guest speaker is retired Chief Walter Kula, and he and I worked together at Choctaw High School, and when I was there, I noticed that they were doing the Veterans Day Assembly out in front of the school with very few people, and it was not involving many people, and I said, hey, Chief, we got to do something better than this and have more guests and more speakers, and can we do something really cool for veterans? And he said, heck yeah, let's do it. And so we did, and it was amazing. So I am very excited to have Chief Kula here today. So Chief, come and tell us. Let's welcome Chief Kula.
Well, this is such a great event. Thank you to the staff. organized such a great thing to celebrate the veterans that we all know. And we'll get there in just a second. Just a little bit about me. I joined in 1978. Who all was alive in 78? Anybody? Yeah, no, but you got it. And I served for 27 years. I was a cop in the Air Force. And then I did 13 years out at Choctaw High School as the Air Force Junior ROTC instructor. And I know out here in Putnam City, there's some really good junior ROTC, so if you're thinking about it, that's a place to be. It's fun. And then about a year and a half ago, I said, that's enough, I'm done, and now I don't work. So, I live out by Choctaw, which is a 45-minute drive. I had to be here by 8, which means I had to get up at 6. And all of a sudden I'm sleeping and I hear there's noise, and I'm like, what is that? And it's my alarm to get up. I don't use an alarm anymore. The sun wakes me up usually. So it was a little bit different to be able to get up early again, something that I'm not used to. So that's me. But before I do anything, I got to prove to my wife that I'm here. Because when I worked out at Choctaw and I would go to events like this, I would take a picture to prove to my school principal that I actually was doing something. I wasn't just taking a day off. So I need to prove to my wife, so I'm going to run over there real quick and I'm going to take a selfie with all you guys, okay? You all know what selfies are, right? Yeah? Okay, now, I don't do it often, so it may take a little bit, so. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to ask you to give me 7 minutes. I was told I could talk for 7 minutes, so it's 49. Just 7 minutes of your life. And hopefully, when I'm done, you'll see that that 7 minutes was worth it. Okay? Just give me 7 minutes. So first of all, I'd like to have us recognize all the veterans that are here in the audience. So all the veterans could stand, please. If you're a veteran, served in the armed forces, go ahead and give it up to them. Very good, very good. All right, thank you, veterans. Okay. Now here's where it's going to get really good for you guys. I'm going to ask you guys to stand when I say something. Who here knows a veteran who has a family member, like a mom or a dad, who's a servant? Go ahead and stand, please. And stay standing. If your family member is serving. Okay, everybody be quiet. Everybody be quiet. If you have an extended family member, like an aunt or uncle or cousin or nephew or something, please stand. Okay? If you know somebody who has served in the military, or served in the military, a neighbor, a church person, please stand. If you know somebody. All right. So here's the thing. Hey guys, everybody listen up. Serving in the military is just not the military member. It's the family and friends of the military member that has to serve and sacrifice so they can serve. So I want to thank all of you, everybody give it up to them, who help our veterans and our military members. All right, you can sit down, thank you. Okay. Quiet down, please. We're still in my 7 minutes. Okay. Who knows all the armed forces? What are some of the armed forces? Yes, sir. We got the Navy. Who else do we have? We got the Air Force. Who else do we have? Marines. Okay, who else do we have? I heard Coast Guard. Who else do we have? Space Force. Yeah, we got one more. Army. There you go. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, and Space Force. Okay, everybody listen up. Listen up here. There's also 3 ways that you can serve those different things. You can be active duty, where you could go anywhere in the world. You can be a reservist, where you have a regular job, but you work over the one weekend a month and 2 weeks over the summer, and maybe go do some other things. Oh, wait a second. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't hear that. Oh, okay, all right. And then you have the National Guard, who works for the governor and also works for the U.S. president, okay? So you have many different ways to serve. So now I'm going to ask you to give me some reasons why people now serve in the armed forces. Why do people now serve in the armed forces? Yes, sir. I'm sorry, speak up.
He said in case something happened. Just in case something happened.
Just in case something happened, but why do they personally serve? Yes, ma'am. You need to speak real loud or pass it down. For college, for education, that's right. Because the armed forces help pay for college and education. Why else do people now serve? Sorry? Tradition. Yes. To protect our country. Well, yeah. But individually, personally, there's many reasons why people serve. Their education, medical benefits. Okay? Now, let's think about something. These older veterans, why did they serve? What's something that was different 40, 50 years ago than it is now? The draft. Everybody know what the draft is? Where they pull a number out of a hat and go, hey, your birthday, you get to serve. Stop what you're doing in life and go join the army. And then go to war. And what were some of the reasons that we had to go to war? What was the big one back in the 1940s? What was it? World War II. There was a dictator. And we had to stop them from taking over the world. Now those people probably did not want to go serve, because nobody wants to go to war, but that's what they had to do. So I want to end with asking you guys to do one thing for me today or over the weekend. I want you to go find your veteran and just say thank you. Okay? Just go up to your veteran, your parent, your grandparent, whoever it is, and say thank you. But then here's this other thing. Ask them to tell you a story. A story. Whatever it is, because then it really makes it personal, that you really care about them and you want to hear from them. So one thing I want you to do is to say thank you to a veteran that you know, and then take a few minutes of your life, as you've given me 7 minutes of your life. I want you to give a little bit more time to listen to their story. Now, if you would have asked me, what's your story? What do I want to hear? I'm going to tell you one real quick here. I was a technical sergeant, which is 5 stripes, at Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, and I was in the military for 7 years, and I was married for 4 years. And my wife was 3 months pregnant, and boy, were we happy. and her family was in Kansas City, which is 1 hour away, and this was going to be the first grandkid, and they were happy. Everybody was happy. Life was great. And then I got a phone call that said I had orders to go to Turkey. Anybody know where Turkey is? Yeah, it's not in the United States. It's 5,000 miles away down in the Mediterranean. And I had to be there in 3 months. So my wife was home, and I had to go tell her that, oh, by the way, the baby that we're going to have is going to be a Turkish baby, because the base that we were at was on Turkish soil. So it was going to be born in Turkey, and it was going to be 5,000 miles away from her parents. And then I had to do the last little bit to say, and you're going to have to travel for 24 hours, 6 months pregnant. Now, of course, that didn't go over well. And I still hear about it 40 years later. Rest assured, I'd mess up somewhere, and oh, by the way, don't you remember when you did this to me? So, when we talk about the families, and I had you stand up, the sacrifices that the families make so the veterans, the military members, can serve. So remember, what is your one thing you have to do for me? What's the one thing you got to do for me today or this weekend? You got to say thank you to a veteran, and what's the other part with that? Ask him to tell you a story. Hey, I want to thank you all. This has been very exciting for me to come talk. I love talking at these Veterans Day events. And I want to thank you for giving me 7 minutes of your life. Thank you very much.
At this time, we will acknowledge each branch in our armed forces. During the march, please stand for the service song that one of your family members represents. The Marines, the United States Marine Corps.
I would like to thank all of our guests for coming as well. And once again, let's give a round of applause to our speaker, Chief Kumar. Teachers, at this time, I'd like to start probably over here. If you guys can get your classes and return to class, it is 9.